So after posting my last burnout vlog, I guess, I wanted to jump on and follow up. A little update. I'm back at the studio. I am still I'm just getting over the hump of it all. You know what I mean? It's just one day at a time at the moment. What I have kind of come to understand, burnout is actually not about weakness. It's actually about unaddressed capacity limits. Burnout happens when responsibility overrides recovery and you base your identity in your output, which means that rest and recovery is actually delayed, not scheduled, which is where I fucked up. What I've realized over the last few weeks is that it has a lot more to do with your nervous system and less about your mental state. It can result in your mental state declining or however you frame that, but it's more about your nervous system being so overworked that your body crashes out. And that's basically what happened. I've learned through therapy and a lot of journaling. Oh my fucking God. I showed you in my last vlog, my brand new journal, 50 pages deep into that journal already. And that's only been a week and a half. But I've come to learn that burnout is feedback. I always thought that when you were burning out, it's because you weren't strong enough. When you burn out, it's because your mind can't take on the workload, you've put too much work on your plate, or you just aren't strong enough to actually take on the tasks that are assigned to you. Here's the thing, and I wrote this on my Instagram, so if you're not following me on Instagram, I highly suggest that you do, because I put up a post before New Year's just basically saying this is how my year started, this is how it's ending. And what I wrote on there was that Olympic athletes take their recovery and their downtime just as serious as their training. So why don't we? Why don't we do the same? You watching this, I don't know if you're a business owner. Maybe you're just a really fucking busy person. Maybe you're working 2 jobs to just be able to freaking put food on the table and put a roof over your head. There are so many different ways that burnout can creep in. You don't have to just be a fucking business owner, basically is what I'm trying to say. Come to understand, and I now know because it's been drummed into me by my therapist, that it is a sign of strength. It's a sign that you were strong for too long without any breaks. I know that for myself, last year was the busiest year of my career. It was absolutely insane. We doubled our team. I didn't realize that I was running off steam and off of adrenaline basically for the last 4 months of the year. And then as we got to the last week of trade, that was kind of the beginning of the end. So in order for this to not happen again, this is what I'm doing differently. Number 1, boundaries. Mid last year, I was talking to my therapist, right? And I was saying I feel like I can't keep up. I'm trying to keep up with work life, home life, family life, friends, social, And she kind of looked at me and she goes, okay, well, you need to think of yourself in this light. Do you see the Kardashians going out and going to every single event and going here and going there, or are they working? And I'm like, they're working. And she goes, do you see Taylor Swift going out and getting shit-faced the day before a show? No. You need to think of yourself as a Kardashian in that same realm, because you know that when you're at work, you need to be on, right? Could you imagine if Taylor Swift was hungover as fuck and did a 3.5-hour concert? Not gonna happen. I don't think anyone's gonna be happy watching that. Or maybe they would be, I don't fucking know. And boundaries is one of those words that's used so loosely, and I feel like everyone's like, I'm putting up boundaries, I need a boundary. People don't fucking understand what that actually means. It just means saying no. That's it. It literally means me just being like, you know what? I'm really sorry. I know that I said yes to these plans, but I don't have it in me. I'm really sorry. I'm not going to be able to. In my vlog, I mentioned this saying that I've learned recently. If you need to choose between yourself and letting someone down, let someone down. Let them down. And I never understood what that actually meant or what that actually looked like until I actually had to put it into action. It was the last day of trade last year, and I was done. I had a very close friend's 30th birthday. It was a milestone birthday. And so I called her up the night before. If I can't make it tonight, I really do apologize. And please know it's nothing personal, blah, blah, blah. I didn't end up going to the birthday. And I know that I disappointed her and my friends, but I also disappointed myself. I didn't feel good about that decision. Saying no, or saying I can't, or saying that doesn't work for me is so much fucking harder to do when you have the disease to please, like you're a people pleaser like I am. But for the first time in a very long time, I was like, you know what? No, I'm actually, I'm not doing that. I'm not going. That's just it. No is a complete sentence. And I have had to learn that the hard way. And it's kind of like when you go to the gym for the first time. Finish your first session, you do some stretches, and then the next day you are fucking sore as, because those muscles haven't been flexed, haven't been activated, haven't been used in such a long time. The muscle of saying no has not been used in who knows how long, right? It's one of those things where you need to be like, well, who's the one that's gonna suffer here? Is it gonna be me, or is it fucking Sharon who's, you know, throwing a birthday party, not even thinking twice about where I am? Like, let's be real. No one is thinking about us as much as we are. And we wouldn't care what people thought about us if we knew how much that they didn't. We need to implement pace. As you can tell in this video, I'm talking a million miles an hour. I always feel like I'm rushing. I always feel like I need to get things done. I need to get to the next thing, because my to-do list is always 30,000 things long. However, that creates a lot of pressure, and that creates a lot of anxiety, because you're always thinking about the future. You're not like, depression is thinking about the past, anxiety is thinking about the future. So if you're always thinking about the future, thinking about what you have to do next, do next, your anxiety is going to be peaking like mine was. So I'm learning, and I'm gonna try now, I'm learning to take my time. There is no rush. Everything can get done. Everything will get done. Absolutely no reason why I need to put myself through such like mental fucking torment in order to get a document done 30 minutes earlier than what it would take me if I just actually took my time doing it. So pace is the second thing that I'm working on. Those first two things bleed into the third, self-expectation. Let me tell you a little story about this therapy appointment. It was very fucking enlightening if you haven't noticed. My therapist told me about my perfectionism trait, right? Which I have always seen as a superpower. However, it does me just as much good as it does bad. She goes, I've come to realize over the last few years of treating you and seeing you that you are a perfectionist. And I'm like, yeah, of course, duh. She goes, the thing is with that is that perfectionism boils down to how we manufacture our appearances, the way that we conduct ourselves, the way that we manufacture a business, a career, accolades. Like, we can control that through the lens of perfectionism, right? And I know that my clients appreciate that about me. So that feeds that perfectionism. But when it comes to relationships, perfectionism is something that can be extremely toxic for a relationship. Because one, no one's perfect. It goes to me, what your perfectionism does, Jacob, is when everything is fine, it looks for reasons for things to not be. And when things aren't fine, it looks for ways to fix them. That is your perfectionism. And it's not about finding someone that doesn't trigger my perfectionism, because it's always gonna be there. It's just part of me. She goes, but you can't manufacture relationships. And when she said that, I was like, you fucking bitch, you are so right. I sat with that for like a couple days, to be honest. And I was like, that explains so much about me. That explains so much about my own stress, why I feel the need to always be doing. And that can then lead into burnout, which we don't realize at the time, because when you're in momentum, everything feels fine, right? When you're in momentum with yourself, your career, your energy, your gym workouts, your routines, everything feels great. Everything feels fine. Everything feels aligned. But if you are not taking time to get a massage, to switch off, unhook yourself from whatever it is, for me, it's my career, you're gonna burn out real fucking quick. This year moving forward, every 10 to 12 weeks, I'm taking a week off. I'm going away, up to the beach, Bali if I want to, with my girlfriends. Every 10 to 12 weeks, I'm taking a break. And that means I'm not on my phone. I need to disengage from this, right? I need to disengage from my world. So that's one thing that I'm doing. I'm implementing more breaks for myself. In saying that, I'm also reducing the amount of days client facing that I'm doing per week. I went from doing 4 days a week to 5 days a week to 4 days a week, and now I'm squeezing it down to 3 days per week. I need to be there for my staff. I have a full fucking team now. We are not just like sorting it out. Like, no. 5 other people that need my support. There's 5 other people that need a leader. And it's not to like self-aggrandize and make myself sound like such a fucking big shot, but it's like my team needs me. You don't see like Steve Jobs selling the iPhones himself. He's working on moving the needle in the company. Because in my case, I have been locked away in a treatment room for 8 hours a day for the last 6 months. That doesn't really do my girls and my team a whole lot of good. Thankfully, I have such an incredible team and they all step up where they need to, and I'm so grateful for that. I think it's because they see how much love and energy and passion that I put in here, and so they also want to put that in, and I don't treat them like employees, I treat them like owners. I always say this is our place. So that's the last thing for now that I'm doing. So this whole burnout situation has been very eye-opening. It's not something that I ever want to go through ever again. And will I go through it again? Probably. But you know, it's something that I know that I need to work on. I feel excited for 2026, and there's gonna be a lot of change, but there's gonna be a lot of, I just feel like this year, there's gonna be so many new doors and windows opening up for me. And I don't know what that looks like yet. I don't know what that means, but it's something that I'm really excited about. And yeah. I don't know. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Share this video with someone who's prone to burnout or is also going through burnout. And if you haven't seen my last vlog, be sure to check out my last video.